3 back decompression exercises for an L4-L5 disc bulge or disc herniation for leg pain relief at home. You have low back pain from an L4-L5 disc bulge or herniation or an L5-S1 bulge or herniation. It's shooting down your leg. You've tried stretches, maybe even rest and medication, but nothing really is taking the edge or the pressure off. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 really gentle decompression moves you can do right now at home to unload your spine, reduce nerve pressure, and start feeling some relief without any twisting or aggravating type of bending motions. These are not random exercises. These are actually done for myself when I had crippling sciatica from an L4 disc herniation. They're safe, they're proven positions that may help reduce nerve pressure and ease this disc-related pain. I've used these decompressions, like I said, myself, and have recommended them to many of my patients. The best part, you can do all of them just a few minutes a day with little or no equipment. Stay with me because I'm going to share with you the key signs that tell you whether these moves are working for you or whether you need to stop immediately. Hi, I'm Dr. Gregory Kramer. I have over 30 years of clinical experience and certifications in chiropractic biophysics. I specialize in treating chronic health problems like chronic neck pain, chronic back pain, disc bulges, disc herniations, sciatica or leg pain, chronic peripheral neuropathy, chronic knee problems, chronic whiplash, and other degenerative spinal conditioning using a variety of corrective methods, non-surgical spinal decompression, and targeted exercises. Before I continue this video, you guys know what to do. Subscribe button if you want to learn how to eliminate pain, stabilize your spine, and avoid surgery so you can live stronger longer. So go ahead and you know what to do. Click and subscribe. The first thing I want you to know is, how do we know if this is the right exercise? Well, it's really simple. If you have leg pain and the pain is starting to centralize or go towards the center of your spine and you're starting to get less pain, and not only if you have less pain in the leg, but it moves up, then you know you're going in the right direction. However, if you have pain and the pain is starting to get further away from the spine, or if you have pain going into your thigh, but now you do an exercise, now the pain goes into your calf, that's the wrong exercise. You want to stop immediately. Everything I show you should feel good, should start to centralize that leg pain. So if this is your leg pain, and you can see the pain's going all the way down the foot, as it improves, you notice that it's centralized. That's the term when the pain goes higher towards the center of the spine. As it improves, it gets even closer to eventually the size of the pain gets smaller and smaller. So going in this direction is better. You know you're on the right track. If you got back pain and you do an exercise and it causes leg pain, that's the wrong way. Stop immediately. So I'm going to show you 3 exercises, and if you're lucky and you stay to the end, I'm going to show you a bonus one. The first exercise I think is the best. You're going to lie over a fit ball. And you can do it 2 ways. You can lie on it right on the floor, or if you want to get a little extra height, give more room, more weight of your legs to hang, you can do that over a bench. And I'll show you these exercises in a minute. Now, I recommend you do these exercises 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I recommend you do it every bit, like a minute to 3 minutes. And if you're in agony, you might need to really hang out on that fit ball almost like every hour. Yes, every hour. It depends how severe you are. If your leg bothers you, you do one decompression exercise in the morning. You bring your ball with you at work. You do a couple minutes at lunchtime. You do a 3 o'clock break. You do it when you get home. That might be enough for some people with some chronic problems. But if you're in agony, you might need to do it every hour. Now, the second thing I'm going to show you to do is called a kneeling prayer stretch, or I think they call that like a child's pose in yoga. And I'm going to show you how to do that basically over the edge of a bench. The third thing I'm going to show you to do is the hanging stretch from a bar. Now, for some people, it's not that great, but for some, it's very helpful. So again, you'll have to try all 3 of these to find which is best, but my money goes on the kneeling decompression stretch over a fit ball. Let me show you that right now. First exercise for decompression in the low back is lying on a fit ball. This is by far the favorite because you can move and you can target the areas that feel best to you. So you can put it on a couch or a firm surface, or you can do it on the floor. So we'll start with on the couch. And you just lie on it And the key though is to really try to relax, breathe, let your low back relax, hang out. You might need to hang a couple minutes. Now, the other way to do it, if you put it on an elevated surface, what you can do that feels really good, but again, everyone's tolerance is different. Your legs will hang further. That means more body weight will start to decompress the spine. So we put it towards the edge, and you probably need to hold on. And you're gonna roll back to find the sweet spot. And you're gonna hang out there for, if you're in agony, you probably hang out a good 60 seconds, a minute. Now again, if you put it on the floor, you're not gonna get as much decompression. But sometimes you just need a little bit to take the edge off, all right? This buys time. So again, if we go back to here, notice that the legs are not hanging free. It's just kind of the weight of your pelvis and hips. Now, this is on the floor is how I use probably almost the first week how I slept. That's right, slept. And I kind of would put my hands to the side so I didn't roll off. And this gave me tremendous relief. Again, you really need this for the first week to get you through to the next phase. So this is my favorite exercise to decompress an L4-L5 disc. Now the next one that we do is we do without a ball. And you can do that again on a table. And this is the kneeling child's pose like they often show in yoga. Okay, remember, everything should feel good to you. Everything should reduce that leg pain. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna, again, try to relax, breathe deep. And you're gonna try to push your hands forward a little bit while you push your hips back and sit back. Again, the key is try to relax. Breathe deep. Just really feel that low back unlock. Okay, you gotta breathe. I would definitely hold this for about a good 60 seconds, and I would probably do this 3 times a day. So this is the child's pose. Now, the fit ball is my favorite. The next thing you can do is you could just literally hang out over the edge of a firm bed or couch. Now, this is a chiropractic adjusting table. This is where we do spinal adjustments to take pressure off the nerves, take pressure off the disc, so the body can heal itself. So if I elevate this, visualize a high couch or a very firm chair, and I'm gonna get my waist over the edge. I'm gonna hold. And the table or couch hits me a little bit below the belly button, and I'm letting my pelvis decompress. This is simple, doesn't require a ball, but you gotta be able to hold on to something. You're taking some pressure off the spine, but your feet are touching, okay? The fit ball is the best. This is another way to do decompression, stretch while you're at home. Now let me show you what it looks like hanging from a chin-up bar. Hanging from a chin-up bar, for many people, feels really good. Now, if you cannot hang, you can just let your feet drag, and you can put your hands this way. You don't have to use your whole body weight, but you do what feels comfortable. This is probably my least favorite. This is probably for someone through the chronic stage, doing some rehab, not so much for the early stages, but I always like to show it because I never know when you go from the crisis stage to the more rehabilitative stage. Now, because you've stayed to the end of the video, I'm going to show you a banded decompression. Now, this is for people that extension relieves their pain. Now, generally, younger people, this kind of, when I say younger, not my age, but usually 50-year-old or younger. So at 40s, 30s, when they have a disc herniation that feels better walking, worse when you sit, this might be a good candidate for you, but you need a very strong band. Let me show you. Now, this is banded extension. Typically, this will be for younger people under 50 with a bulge, L4-L5 bulge, L4-L5 disc herniation. Feels better when you walk, feels better when you're on your stomach, worse when you sit, worse when you sit. You're gonna need a strong band. Okay, go to any sports store. I believe I got this online by a great trainer named Greg Contreras. I'm sure if you go to thegroupguy.com, he sells these very strong bands. You're gonna need to make sure it's attached to something very sturdy. You better know what you're doing and hit a stud, because you do not want to fall if you already have a disc problem. So, and I generally recommend that the placement of the bands be a little higher than your lower back. So I'm very secure in this band, and I'm going to lean back. I'm going to create a little extension while this focuses, it targets the traction, and this should feel good to you. It should relieve that pain. But this better be strong, you better be secure. And I would hold this 60 seconds, and I'd probably do 3 to 10 repetitions, depending on where you're at, 3 to 10 reps. Now, you also should try a different level. Maybe if you go up a notch, so start at the very lowest at your belt line, and now go up a little higher and see how this feels. Hold 60 seconds. And one of those will probably feel better than the others. Again, the bare minimum 3 times a day. If you're in agony, every hour. So that's my general rule of thumb. If you're having trouble with leg pain, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's a good reminder, take a break. But if you can, a lot of people benefit from 30 seconds to a minute every hour. I hope you like those decompression exercises. Now, my favorite by far, absolutely, is the fit ball on a bench. But what I'd like to know is, what is yours, all right? And there's going to be some of you, especially young folks, that really like that banded decompression. So let me know if it's the banded decompression, the child's pose exercise, or the fit ball, either on the floor or on a elevated surface like a bed or a couch. And you know what? Please do me a favor. If you like this content, if you feel there's any value and it helps you, share it with someone that you know, like, and love. Okay, so we can help them and help other people. Also, like, subscribe, share. We'd appreciate that. Every week we're gonna give videos on how to help people eliminate pain, stabilize their spine and body, avoid surgery. So at the end of the day, everybody can really live stronger, longer, extend that health potential. Now, do me a favor now. The second thing I'm going to ask you is, if you want to see how we target, how we correct these disc herniations, go to this video right here.